Howdy folks, I am Alan for today's news. I will be reading and speaking about world news, interesting news to keep you entertained and news to keep you informed. What I got for you first is from Android headlines. It says massive data breach includes 26 billion records and 12 tetabits of data. I don't know if you call it tetabits or terabytes. It said data breaches are happening with alarming frequency lately, which means it's increasingly likely your data is out in the wild somewhere. If there's one place that user data is likely to exist, it's in a massive data breach pool that was recently discovered by Cyber News and securitydiscovery.com. The data pool looks to be a complication of many major breaches and includes over 26 billion data breach records. That amounts to over 12 terabytes of data, and it includes more than just passwords. The exact nature of the records is unknown, but there are a few possibilities. The most likely records to be found in this data breach are usernames and passwords. However, it's possible that other types of information like credit card information and addresses are included as well. The good news is the researchers do not suspect that new data is included in the pool. Rather, it's major sourcing of pre-existing data breaches, according to the researchers. This suggests that the owner has a vested interest in storing large amounts of data. What's included in the data breach 26 billion records? The research into the data breach was led by Bob, I can't say his last name, Dykashenko, a cybersecurity expert and the owner of securitydiscovery.com. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Although the team says that no new data leaks are known to be included, that doesn't mean end users shouldn't be concerned. The data set is extremely dangerous as threat actors could leverage the aggregation data for a wide range of attacks, the researchers told Cyber News, including identity theft, sophisticated phishing schemes, targeted cyber attacks, and unauthorized access to personal and sensitive accounts. The data breach 26 billion records also include information that users probably won't want getting out. The company or brand with the most leaked records in the data pool was Tencent, a Chinese tech giant, who had 1.5 billion records leaked. Tencent, among other things, operates the Tencent QQ messaging app. Other sites with millions of leaked records include Lycan, Deezer, Adobe, and Canva. Some adult sites were also included in the data pool, such as 220 million records from Adult Friend Finder. Besides companies and brands, some data is also stolen from governments such as the U.S., Brazil, Germany, Philippines, Turkey, and more. But the real concern is that malicious actors could use the stolen data for more widespread identity theft. For example, if you use the same password for Lycan as your banking app, you might be in trouble. A potentially compromised social media site could spiral into a financial disaster quickly. And it says how to check if your data is in the breach. There's no clear cut to know if your data has been breached with absolutely certainty. However, there are a few things you can do. There's a search bar at the bottom of Cyber News, which you won't see. I'm not going to put the link in the description box. Or you can go, and you can search through every site that was compromised If you use a site that has been breached, you should change your password just to be safe. You can also visit havebeenpwned.com. That's HAVEBENNPWNED.com. I'll put in a title here. And enter your email to see if it has appeared in a data breach. Otherwise, a good rule of thumb is to use strong passwords, different passwords, and change them if you think they've been compromised. And that's all I got on that one there. And that'd be a good idea, not to use the same password for everything. I use the same for a few things, now for my banking. Let me go on to the next one. This from New York Post. Don't believe the lies. The UN is paying illegals using U.S. taxpayer cash. In 2021, early on in America's historic border crisis, it says, I wrote that the United Nations was abetting the problem by handing out debit cards and cash vouchers to aspiring illegal border crossers on their way north. One outrage group of 21 border security-minded lawmakers pitched a bill that would require the United States, the UN largest donor, to turn off the taxpayer money spigot. H.R. 6155 never caught fire, though in no small part because fact checks from outlets such as the AFP claimed that the UN was doing no such thing. Those fact checkers lied. Says it right here. The UN just released the 2024 Interagency Coordination Platform for Refugees and Migrants from Venezuela. I can see that word. A planning and budget document for handling out $1.6 billion in 17 Latin countries. It confirms the UN with the helping hands of 248 named non-governmental organizations and indeed giving debit cards to illegal immigrants, funded in large part by U.S. taxpayers. So we are giving the immigrants free money. We're giving them free money. Despite the R4V, that's short for planned title naming, these recipients of this aid operation, the document fine print footnotes on page 14 and paragraph on page 43, for instance, says the largest goes to all nationalities and other nationalities. The documents clear up any mystery about the UN and NGOs are doing on the migrant trails and leaves no room for supposedly debunking fact checks. In a nutshell, the UN and its adversaries partners wants to spread $372 million in cash and vouchers assistance and multi-purpose cash assistance to 624,300 immigrants who in transit to the United States during 2024. The money is most often handed out, other UN documents show, as prepaid rechargeable debit cards, but also hard cash and envelopes, bank transfers, and mobile transfers that U.S. border bond travelers can use for whatever they want. And it goes on and on. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you get the gist of this. We're giving them free money. We got people living homeless on the streets. And we're giving the other people, the other country, to come here illegally and get paid. What's wrong with this country? Oh, Biden, that's what's wrong with this country. Anyway, this next one here is from the Daily Mail. Russia will not be afraid to use nuclear weapons in a war with NATO because it believes the U.S. wouldn't dare respond. Russia's willingness to deploy nuclear weapons in a potential conflict with NATO is growing because the Kremlin believes the U.S. and the allies would not dare to respond. A think tank warned yesterday, knowingly, that the West is casualty and risk adverse. Russia may seek to use enough non-strategic nuclear weapons to inflict damage, preventing its own defeat. The report by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, the IISS. Russia knows the U.S. will be unwilling to cross the nuclear threshold in retaliation and may terminate the conflict early. The Russian perception of the lack of credible Western will to use nuclear weapons or to accept casualties and conflict further reinforces Russia's aggression, thought and doctrine, and concluded. The report said the logic of using such a nuclear weapon will be to escalate a conflict in a controlled fashion, either to prevent the U.S. and NATO from engaging or to coerce them into war termination on Russian terms. And it goes on again. That's what I'm going to read on that one there. Now here's something here. This happened not far from me, next town over. This is from WTF video of a fire engine doing 360 on icy roads is absolutely bonkers. Yeah, we had ice storms yesterday morning, and they shouldn't be out driving in it. Says here, I'm just going to say it. This is a real life scene you only expect to see in movies or on television shows while your jaw drops open, waiting to see what happens. It says, I can't even let me enlarge this, with how beyond insane bonkers this video is, and the fact that it was caught on video is unbelievable. Even more crazy is that it appears the only damage was to one car and a couple of mailboxes. Hollywood have included more damage. I said, check these out. If you're like me, you'll watch them several times over in disbelief at the end. At this ended this way as it did. Anyway, I'm gonna have this video here for you, and I had to watch it a few times. You know, it's sad, but it happened. You know. Anyway, here comes the video now.
Oh my God! Shit!
Okay, that's all I got for you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep coming back. You never know what I'll have. Until next time, this is Alan for today's news. Thanks for watching. Later.